Gracias por venir. Gracias por venir in Spanish means thanks for coming. Gracias por venir.
Gracias por venir.
So there's two things that we can see in this sentence. We can use this sentence as like a hook to remember two important things about Spanish. The first thing is that we have two words for. We already saw another word for. For example, how are we saying for me?
Para mí.
Para mí, good. And for you, speaking informally?
Para ti.
Para ti. So we had me and ti coming with prepositions. Para mí, para ti, de mí, from me, de ti, from you. But then for the other people, we just say for he, for example. So how is for him or for he in Spanish?
Para él.
Good. And for her?
Para ella.
Good. So this para is when something is for somebody. No? So for example, if we want to say this is for you, speaking informally, let's say it's a masculine object. This one is for you. How would you say that?
Ello.
What is tonight?
Esta.
Good. So that's your hook and you go from there. Esta noche.
Yeah.
But I want a masculine thing.
Esto.
What you should do is look at somewhere that you've used it. So you should look at this car.
Este.
And then you find it. These are the processes that we're learning, and this is
Yeah.
half of the method. You can take yourself through those processes when you need to find it.
Yeah.
And then it comes to your memory. Then you know it after that. But the first few times you need to have a look around, let's say, and see to find it. So this or this one, masculine thing,
Este.
este. So this one is for you, speaking informally.
Este es para ti.
Good. Este es para ti, if we mean a masculine thing. What if you meant these are for you, masculine or mixed things?
Estos son para ti.
Well done. Estos son para ti. So we saw that actually for this and these we have este and estos. In este we have the e of el, and in estos we have the os of los. Estos son para ti. So this is the for that we learned until now. No? Then we have por, which is much more flexible. It has many more meanings. Let's investigate some of them. Por, you can use it like because of. No, sometimes when we say for in English, we mean because of. For example, if you say for this reason, what you mean is because of this reason. So you don't mean para, you mean por. So por also means for in the sense of because of. And actually in the words because and why, which were
¿Por qué?
porque, here in why we see that it's because of. Porque, why, actually means because of what? Because of what? And then porque as because, we said that we have the same word for why and because. Porque as because means because of that. So in both cases you have por meaning because of. So reason in Spanish is razón, razón.
Razón.
Or razón in most of Spain. Razón. But in most of the Spanish-speaking world, razón.
Razón.
Razón is feminine. So how would you say this reason?
Esta razón.
Good. So how would you say, because of this reason, I don't want to go? Because of this reason, I don't want to go.
Por esta razón no quiero ir.
Por esta razón, no quiero ir. Let's contrast the two. What was to buy? Do you remember to buy?
Comprar.
Comprar. Good. Comprar. You can say, I'm buying it for you. How would you say that? Let's keep it informal. I'm buying it for you.
Lo compro para ti.
Good. Lo compro para ti. That means, this thing, I'm buying it for you. But maybe in some context you want to say, I'm buying it because of you. How would you say that?
Lo compro por ti.
Good. Lo compro por ti. So it doesn't mean necessarily that this thing is for that person, just that you've bought it because of that person. No? So maybe you buy an ashtray in your house and your one friend that smokes comes and you say, Lo he comprado por ti. I have bought it because of you. If you say, Lo he comprado para ti, for you, then he'll want to take the ashtray home. Another use for por is when we're talking about time. When you're talking about periods of time, for 2 weeks, for 2 days, you will not say para, you will say por. This is another place where you use por. The word for day is dia, dia,
Día.
dia. It's actually related to an Indo-European root, which just means a very old root, meaning light, and deity in English comes from the same root. Or the J of Jupiter is actually also from this root. Jupiter means something like the father of the gods. You have Peter, like paternal there, and Ju from this same root as dia and deity. And of course you have Jupiter, which is the biggest planet, so the father of the gods, Jupiter. Dia is a word that looks feminine, and it's one of those few words that end in A, that look feminine, that are masculine. So the day is
El día.
el día, and the days
Los días.
los días. And every day is all the days. Before we said todo el tiempo, to say all the time. If you want to say every day, you say all the days. How do you think that would sound?
Todos los días.
Good. Todos, in plural. Todos los días. Good. If you wanted to say, I'm staying for 3 days, 3 is tres, tres. I'm staying for 3 days. I remain myself for 3 days. So how would you say that? I'm staying for 3 days.
Me quedo por 3 días.
Very good. Me quedo por 3 días. I'm staying for 3 days. How would you say, I will stay for 3 days? I will stay for 3 days. You don't need the will here. The fact that you say for 3 days is already some kind of future context. No, the days didn't happen yet. But let's practice the future. So, I will stay for 3 days.
So it's quedé.
In both futures, we are adding on to the verb.
Quedaré.
Yes, we are pushing it into the future. So, I will stay for 3 days.
Me quedaré por 3 días.
Good. Me quedaré por 3 días. So this sounds a little bit more certain, when you use the future. Me quedo por 3 días. I'm staying for 3 days. Me quedaré por 3 días. I will stay for 3 days. How would you say I would stay for 3 days? I would stay for 3 days. A nice hook to remember would is I would like, or it would please me. This is a nice hook.
Me gustaría.
So this is a nice hook to remember would, because it's something that's very common that you will use a lot. So what is that little bit you need for would that you can pluck out of me gustaría?
The ia ending.
Perfect. So I would stay for 3 days.
Me quedaría por 3 días.
Good. Me quedaría por 3 días, but I have to work. You remember what is to work? We saw it very briefly.
Trabajar.
Trabajar, good. Trabajar is Trabajar, and that Jar makes jar. Trabajar. So, but I have to work.
Pero tengo que trabajar.
Yes, now all together, I would stay for 3 days, but I have to work. And not from memory, but thinking it through.
I know, because I've already
again.
forgotten it.
Good. So, thinking it through again, taking that time to think it through again. I would stay is the first bit.
Me quedaría
Good. For 3 days.
por 3 días.
But I have to work.
Pero tengo que trabajar.
Perfect. Me quedaría por 3 días, pero tengo que trabajar. Perfect. Very good.